Yo guys, what's up? Today I want to show you how you can improve your weapons, from basic stuff to actually a bit more involved stuff, some advanced upgrade paths for your weapons. And without further ado, I would say let's have a look here on the workbench. When you start, you will only have most likely tier 1, tier 2, maybe tier 3 unlocked. Of course you need the corresponding resources to build them, but this is the first upgrade path. Of course, the higher the tier, the more damage the weapon actually does. The next step would be, if you have the highest tier you can actually carry with you, go under calibrations. And then, as you can see here, my weapons are already at max level. Depending on the tier and the rarity, you may not be able to reach certain heights. In this example, this is a legendary tier 5 weapon, so it can go up to +10. This is the highest calibration you can go for. You can see that you have certain stats you will also unlock depending on how high your weapon calibration is. You can find so-called calibration blueprints and you can replace them with your current one. You will change the stats then. In this case I actually don't have one for the normal assault rifle, but I had one for the sniper rifle and I changed the sniper rifle to a rapid shot style. Highly recommend this one, it feels really amazing. Of course you do a little bit less damage, but you can shoot so fast, it's really fun. This is another way to upgrade your weapon. Of course on legendary weapons I would try to actually get also legendary calibration blueprints, but if you have something that is maybe a lower tier, you can get away with that stuff. I also wanted to mention I would only suggest upgrading your calibrations, the normal calibrations level, when you are actually at tier 5 or when you are hard stuck because of the damage you are doing. Besides that, I wouldn't recommend this. Just save your resources and then as soon as you have a tier 5 weapon, build yourself. This is really important. Build it yourself. You of course can find weapons also in the wild, from weapon chests, from bosses, but you can't repair them, so bear this in mind. Alright, with that said, there's a completely different system as well. Let's have a look at the gear screen here. Let's, for example, click on my assault rifle. With right click you can go into this window here. You can then equip mods, which is really important. At the beginning don't stress too much about it, but you want to focus or build towards a so-called build. In my case, my main weapon is the silent anabasis. It's a frost assault rifle pretty much. You can spawn frost vortex with that, and I go with the road. The longer those frost vortexes are around, the more damage they do. And the current mod that I'm using for this weapon is the Vortex Multiplier Frost Vortex, as you can see. I'm not going to bother you with all the different builds in the game, but that is also something that will boost your damage greatly. Same with the accessories, not that big, but they can really help, especially with your magazine size or even with your reload speed, depending on what you change here. You can find these accessories while solving puzzles in the wild or while finding morphic crates and looting them. Another way you can upgrade your weapon is also with the ammunition you are actually using. This is just normal tungsten rifle ammo. There's also another tier, and depending on what you put in there, you can get really nice effects. For example, you could replace the Stardust source here, but if I keep this in and I would craft, I would deal 10% more damage to targets affected by burn or frost vortex, and then it also has a psi intensity +15, and this would be the perfect ammunition for me, another upgrade path. I'm a little bit of a sheepskin. As long as I'm not doing the hardest content, I always go with the normal tungsten ammunition. It's also fine, but the other one is definitely stronger. About the mods, you can actually find mods by doing events, doing bosses, doing explorations, weapon chests, gear chests. There are also the silos and the monoliths where you can find specific mods. You can also go into the mod conversion menu. It could be when you start that a lot of them are actually locked. You just need to click there and it will tell you what you need to do to unlock those. And then you could pretty much build also towards specific, suffixes. These are all different passive stats you will have on your actual mod as well. And you can also upgrade your mods like I mentioned before, and it will roll on random stats that are actually on your mod, and then it will upgrade them. The highest one is legendary, it goes through white, green, blue, purple, and then legendary. But you can just do this 5 times, so if you really want to min-max, you go for a legendary mod, and then you want rare or even higher attributes already on your mod. So you have a good chance of actually getting everything to legendary. But it's not really necessary, so to say, right? So I don't do this and my damage is just fine, but just something to bear in mind. Okay, with that out of the way, another big thing is under blueprints. And let's have a look at my sniper rifle here, at my legendary. It currently has 2 from 6 stars. The more stars you have unlocked on your gear, the more it actually does as well. So this is another upgrade path. Let's click on details here, and you can see there is an XP bar. And if you click on this plus icon here, you can actually put stuff in there. It depends on what gear that is. This is all stuff that would be categorized as huntsman fragments, and this is the only way you can actually upgrade then this specific sniper rifle. However, if you would, let's say, go to your wish machine and you would play the wish machine, you have a chance of getting specific weapon fragments, and you could also get the legendary sniper rifle blueprint. And if you actually upgrade your blueprints with the actual weapon you have, so you have a duplicate blueprint, so to say, from the weapon, you will gain twice as much experience. So this is a really, really nice boost to your stats. And if you don't know what certain things are, you can see it says what the category is. For example, the sniper rifle AWS 338 is a huntsman rifle. And on the right, you actually can see how many fragments you have. You can also click on view, and then you can see the unlocked stuff as well. And you can also lock stuff, but that doesn't really matter at the moment. Then let's go into another step here, the blueprint conversion. This is really important. For example, you want to switch your build. Let's say I don't want to run this frost build anymore, and you can select then your weapon of choice. As you may have seen there, everything else vanished. You can only switch legendary stuff with other legendary stuff. Let's take that out. For example, I would use this frozen northern pike, which has the highest points here. You can also just do the same rarity, This is really important to note, because you would think maybe, hey, I could use a cheaper weapon and upgrade that and then, just convert it. That doesn't work like that. If it's the same rarity, it works, but not if the cheaper weapon is, for example, a rare weapon and you want to you know, convert it to a legendary one. This doesn't work, unfortunately. But let's go back to the other weapon, and as you can see, maybe I would like to run a shrapnel build, which is also really strong. I could just, you know, select the weapon and then click on conversion, and the 3 stars would be then on the shrapnel one. And my frost weapon would be back at the star level that the converted weapon is. For example, if this weapon, the shrapnel one, would have 2 stars and my frost weapon would have 3, and I would convert the frost stars to the shrapnel one would have 3 and the ice one would have 2. I hope this makes sense. I really try my best here to make it as easy to understand as possible, you know. Yeah, I know this is also a bit rambly, but I hope you get the point. This is really important. At the start it was fairly overwhelming for me, but when you think about it and take your time, it's really actually straightforward and not that complicated. So this isn't really a weapon upgrade, but of course you can also boost your damage with the mimetic cradle here, and then you can, you know, change to different things you like. For example, I use anti-void when using rifles, shotguns or heavy weapons, damage plus 15% with an additional 100% damage against super anomaly. But yeah, and of course you can also create extremely nice food buffs here. For example, if I would go for the Stargazy Pie, my crit damage would go up by 25% when my energy is full. So there are really insane food buffs here, so don't sleep on this. You can have a food buff for your hunger and for your thirst, so something to look out for. If you're not really interested in PvP, maybe look into a shrapnel build, especially because the food buffs you can create are really cheap. There is one, let me have a look here, canned meat, there we go. As you can see, it's really cheap, you just need some meat. You will also, depending on what meat you use, get also more bony on top of that, and it will boost your shrapnel damage really, really nice when you start out. And shrapnel is also really, really good with the assault rifle I showed you before. But yeah, before I drag this on for too long, I just wanted to go over some basics there. Don't be afraid to actually spend your star chrome. You can always check guides on YouTube and on the internet. It will help you greatly, and then, you know, just spend your star chrome, get the blueprints you want, and then, as I have shown you, upgrade your weapons and then have fun, you know. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. I will try to help you the best I can. I'm still also fairly new. I mean, I already played about 300 or more hours, but there's always something to learn, and yeah. Having said that, have a fantastic day. Sorry for the rambly style of video. Have a good one, guys. Bye bye. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a nice day, guys. Stay safe out there. Vincent out. Bye bye.